Little bunny foo hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice and biting off their hands.
You're listening to Merc with the Podcast, episode 110.
FYI, you're in pain now.
Huh? Ah! You are listening to Merc with the Podcast, episode 110. I am your Jelby host, Corwin, and with me, as always, is my Dr. Wily co-host, Scott.
By the way, I also bit out your eye.
Ouch. The Merc with the Podcast is your bi-monthly slave view of all things Deadpool, which is published by Marvel Comics. You can file your Merc Report to us on Facebook under Merc with a Podcast. Merc WA Podcast on Twitter, or email us at hipsterdaken, that's DAKEN, and Patch will send us your Hell House facts.
So, we had some thank yous to
do
go
we
through.
Really?
Yes. Thank you to Michael Wells. Thank you to Dallas Druce. And thank you to Edgar Martinez Ortigazo for liking us on Facebook.
Yay! We appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much.
It's not real feedback. People are just clicking that like button.
Thank you for clicking the like button to say that you know who we are and that you appreciate us.
All right. You want to get into this dredge of a month?
I guess we can. I mean, we had a month off, so what's been happening with you? Well, even though we recorded, did anybody give us any feedback on our voting for the best miniseries?
No.
Okay. Should we be surprised? Yeah.
No.
That one too. Okay.
You know, I will say I am proud of us. Like we've actually made a good episode for once. I would probably put that in our top 5, maybe top 6.
Really?
Content we ever created.
Okay.
I mean, that's not saying much because we don't really create good content
Hey now,
here.
we try.
Can I also just say, I'm also proud of us for actually pumping out an episode every month.
I mean, yeah, we're trying to do the damn thing.
Yeah, despite Marvel not giving us any books.
We've got to keep the hope alive. We got to keep people entertained.
I'm just bringing up the Cable issue because I had to buy it on Kindle. Or you know what? While we're here, let's do housekeeping. So our next episode, we will be reviewing Deadpool Pulp and what else, Corwin?
A series that I haven't started watching yet, but it's going to be the Dead of High School. High School of the Dead, 12 issue. Are we doing the special? Okay, so
yeah,
13 episode review of High School of the Dead.
And then I will be reading the manga so we can find out like the 2 chapters that happened after the show ended. And so people know Deadpool Pulp is $6.99 on Kindle /Comixology.
And it's 5?
For all
4
issues. I mean, that's not bad for the trade.
No, it's not.
And the trade's out of print. So good luck if you actually want to buy that physically.
Is it really?
Yeah, because I went on Amazon and I went on DCBS and everything, and yeah, out of print.
Oh, that's dumb, but okay.
Well, they're not going to print something that they're not. That probably like, okay, they sold so many copies and that was it.
I guess.
Well, remember Deadpool Classic? Remember, I couldn't find one of the
volumes.
traits for the longest time.
Yeah. I don't know. Who wrote it again?
Who wrote what?
Pulp.
I actually have it right here. You give me a
Yeah,
second.
you would think it's one of the bigger
Oh,
creators, I think, or popular creators that they would try to keep something like that and stuff.
written by Adam
Oh,
Glass and Mike
okay.
Benson. Art by Lawrence
Yeah,
Campbell.
Adam Glass. I don't think Marvel's really backing him with anything. So yeah, I guess it makes sense.
All right. So our books. Our rating system is a buy is a party time fruit liquor, a browse is a point 0.1, a low point 0.1 is Elman's decoy, and as always for this current decade, a burn is a major
This current
X.
decade. You saw your boy had another meltdown online?
No, no. I think I actually blocked my Google alerts for Rob Liefeld. What did he do this
Well,
time?
supposedly they announced a new creative team coming on New Mutants after Sword of X, and he made some comment that, oh, he's not coming back to bail them out this time or something like that.
When did he bail them out
When
the
he took
first
over New
time?
Mutants back in the early 90s, I guess.
Oh, talking about New Mutants. Did you see
I
that
did.
movie? And did you
I didn't.
love it? Was it worth the
I
wait?
didn't.
Was it everything you
No, it
wanted?
wasn't, but I didn't expect it to be either. It was a good try. It was a solid movie. For people who don't know the characters or anything, I think they would enjoy it more than the people who are deeply in love with the characters, but they did their best. Magic, special effects, and her powers probably was the best part of the movie. It was cool. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it was good. It was better than like Phoenix. It's better than X-Men Apocalypse. It's better than some of the other ones.
Corin, the bar's not
It
very high. I mean,
it isn't, but I will say they get props for trying. It's a step in the right direction. The characters, they try to be pretty faithful to the characters, and I mean, the whole movie is literally these 4 or 5 kids and this one woman in a building. I mean, that's the whole thing. So it was very insular, but it wasn't bad. I thought it was cool. Pretty average.
yeah. See, my internet cut out because of my cease and desist. I'm not allowed to actually talk about it. Hey, Corin, what did it cost you? I'm thinking that scene from Avengers: Infinity War.
What was the cost?
What is like? What did it cost you? It cost me a Q-tip going up my nostril.
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think it's a good way to get the non-layman people into the characters a little bit.
That we'll never ever see again.
What, those characters, those actors?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably not, but
you do know that the movie's like just in general, like it's has to make up its budget, and then the $90 million it lost him every single time it was delayed.
yeah, well, there's very little anybody could have done about that from the get-go, so
So yeah, they're not making a sequel to this
no,
thing.
I wouldn't expect them to either. I really wouldn't, but you know.
All right. So let's get into the books.
Yes, indeed. What do we have first?
Cable 3. So you are first.
Oh, okay. Cable issue 3. Written by Jerry Duggan with art by Phil Noto. You haven't read like any of these issues of Cable, have you? So you're
No.
coming into this pretty blind.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's pretty straightforward. The issue opens with us seeing what happened with young Cable killing old Cable, and um, I knew you knew about that already. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
good. So yeah, so this young Cable who's running around with Esme, one of the cuckoos, who he's actually dating the 5 of them. Um, and he ended up getting a hold of this sword which belonged to Rom Space Knight, even though they can't actually use Rom. They can use the Space Knights and every other character created in that comic since it was a Marvel comic. So these Space Knights want Cable to help them go back in time and basically save their planets from exploding. Um, Reluctantly, Cable kind of agrees, but of course he needs the time machine. He's a time machine, and supposedly his older body had the time machine in his arm. So they go to dig up his old body and they realize it's missing, but on his tombstone is a bag from uh what's that? Barajas? Staten Island's finest Mexican cuisine. So Yable ends up knowing, I call young Cable Yable, um, ends up going to Staten Island, which is of course ruled by Deadpool since it's now Monster Island. Um, Deadpool's kind of surprised to see this young Cable. He's asking, what does he moisturize with? And then he comes to realize that Cable left instructions for Deadpool upon his death to basically recover his body. Um, and Deadpool kind of does that, but he puts Cable in his pool table. So he has the body entombed in his pool table. So young Cable rips off the arm and then goes back to. Wait a minute. Yeah, he just rips off the arm and then goes back to the Knights with the arm, supposedly being able to help them time travel. I started to bleed into the next issue in my mind. That was a fast issue.
I mean, I do like some of the lines from the Space Knights. Like one of them is, we when they're talking about, it's like, yeah, I have a time machine, and then one of them goes, we do not understand. You have a time machine, but your world is still so horrible. And then there's another line when they're looking at Cable's body in the pool table. It's like, we've been doing this planet a favor by overriding its matrix to create a new Galdor. It is so. And then you look at the letter, and then Deadpool writes in cursive and everything.
And neat. It's actually really neat handwriting.
My dearest Nathan.
Sincerest sincerities, D. Pool.
It's like, yeah, make sure he doesn't take my arm. He's referring to Strife, or he's referring to Cable?
I think he's referring to Strife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is I also don't like how Cable is drawn in this. Like, I don't know. Like I saw other drawings, and he looks more like a teenager, and in this he looks like he's, I don't know, 11.
11. Okay.
He looks really young. And then also, like, how incestual is this? So Cable is Scott Summers' son, and he's banging his stepmother's daughter.
Ooh.
So he's banging his
Well,
stepsister.
Cyclops and Emma Frost are not an item. They're not married.
But in a sense, he's banging his stepsister.
If you want to make to the fact that his dad dated her mother, then I guess so.
There's a whole section of Pornhub just for that.
Only you.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think of the Gilmore Girls, that Luke and Lorelai were an item, but so was Rory and Jess is Luke's nephew, and Rory is Lorelai's daughter, so she's dating her step cousin.
Nothing you're saying is making sense to me because I have no clue who those people are, but I will just take your word for it.
Yeah. But anyway, no, this gets a major X. I didn't care for this
Nah,
at
it
all.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Really? Major X, just that bad for you. So do you think
Yeah.
it's because you came in the middle of the story arc, or you just you didn't even like the art?
No, like I said, like I'm just looking. Like I have seen other pictures of young Cable, and he looks like he's in his 20s, and I'm looking at this, and he looks like he's in the 7th grade.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a point one. I didn't think it was bad at all. I like how Deadpool's little muscle guard is just like a tracksuit wearing goblin with a gold chain and shades when Cable enters the throne room.
All right. Up next, we have Deadpool issue 6, written by Thompson, art by Kevin Libranda, and colors by Chris Sotomayor. So the issue starts off with Deadpool is playing war with the monster cards against Jeff the Shark. Deadpool then notices Jeff puts down this one character card, which is Jelby, who Deadpool realizes, oh, wait, this can come in her favor. He finds out that Jelby is actually a mutant. I want to go through this as fast as possible. Jelby's a mutant. So Deadpool and Jeff go inside Jelby because Jelby's just a giant gelatinous monster mutant. So they walk through the Krakoa portal. Then Deadpool and Jeff walk out of Jelby. The X-Men show up. Deadpool sees Emma. Emma says, we understand that, you're the king of Staten Island of the monsters, so you have some sort of jurisdiction. We'll let this slide. You can't be here because we did the odds, and there's a 98% chance you're just going to burn this place down. So as Deadpool leaves, he tries to take a Krakoa seed flower. The X-Men come to stop him. Deadpool and Jeff fight the X-Men. Rogue shows up. Rogue is like, look, just take the flower. Deadpool's like, I don't want the flower. He asks Jelby, let's go. Jelby says he wants to stay with them. Deadpool calls everybody a fascist, leaves. Deadpool is back in Staten Island. He's hammering away at something. Jeff spits out a Kokoro seed flower. Deadpool says, good boy. Then he puts up a sign that says, no more mutants allowed on Staten Island. Elsa Bloodstone says, hey, let's not make any more jokes. I'm actually dying. And we see her hand, and it has a weird eye on it with purple
No, that's her
veins.
gemstone.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. This, I just want to get over and done with. This was just terrible. I feel like Kelly, I feel like she was writing this in the Marvel office, and then she got word that everyone had to evacuate the building because of the coronavirus. Like everyone just had to leave, so she just mashed at the keyboard and sent the issue away.
Wow.
This was terrible.
You really think that, huh?
Oh yeah.
Eh,
It started off great, and as soon as we get to Deadpool enters Krakoa, it was terrible. So that was when Kelly was told she had to leave the Marvel office because of Corona.
okay. I didn't think it was that bad. It's definitely not fantastic. This also gets a point one from me, but um,
Yeah, you see what I mean? I think I said decoy, Major X. Yeah, the art's
yes.
great. I like the art, and like I said, I like the begin. Well, first off, I feel like this is all filler. This is definitely filler.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem to be moving Deadpool's book along at all, but yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I just feel like that if if his motive was just, hey, I want to scope out this place because Ellie's going to be here one day, that would have been fine. It would, also would have been great if we saw Gwenpool, since she's there. Last
True,
I know.
true.
Not unless, you're reading the book. Hey, Corwin, where can people find out more about the
Oh,
X-Men
they can
books?
follow me in the EMX podcast, which is in the feed with this episode as well.
All right. Yeah, sorry. We thought we should plug
But
that.
very
Um,
good point. Very good point with about Gwenpool and Ellie, because yes, no mention of Gwenpool or Ellie.
yeah. Like, I thought that would probably be, like, when I heard, oh, Deadpool's going to meet the X-Men, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I bet you he's going there because he wants to scope out the place because, for Ellie. Nope, no mention of Ellie. We don't see Gwenpool at all. Uh, there are some good jokes. Like, I like the one part where Jelby meets, Glob, and they just pump each other. And then Jeff just keeps on just
Everybody.
biting everybody. And either the X-Men hate Jeff or they love Jeff, which I feel like it's just like they love Deadpool or they hate Deadpool. Like, it's just Jeff is just an allegory for Deadpool in this. What else? There was another good joke. Okay, go to the page where there's a giant ass word balloon.
No, that really sums it up.
Or no,
What else is
okay,
happening on the
it's
page?
then Deadpool's on his throne and he's talking to
Oh, at the
Nightwolf,
beginning.
Elsa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn, that's a huge balloon.
Okay. Then look at the panel down. Jeff has his own chair at the round table. It's just Jeff just sitting there. And then look at the bottom page and then look at
Yeah,
Elsa's
that one made me
face.
laugh too.
That's what I mean. It's great until the X-Men show up. Then it's just like, oh man, this sucks. And then it ends and it's like, oh, okay, now we're back to the actual plot of the story. Of the book.
You're right. I definitely think that if they would have given a little bit of reference to Ellie as well as Gwenpool, this book would have really connected more into the Deadpool title itself instead of kind of just being a blatant trying to tie into the X-Men.
And you just have this up on your iPad,
Hmm.
I take it, right? Okay, well, there's an ad in here for a book called Faith Taking Flight.
Okay.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait, isn't that the name and isn't that the character from that Top Cow book that Seth Green wrote?
Oh, you got me on that one. I don't recall that at all.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, no, this gets a major X.
It ain't that bad. I like the callback with him and Rogue since they were on the Uncanny Avengers together. I thought that was a nice touch for them to
Right.
bring that up. But yeah,
Oh, okay. So why does Rogue look so young in this? Does this have to deal with Mr. and
no,
Mrs.
it's just
X?
artist taking
Oh,
it.
okay. No, I was just curious because I know Kelly also wrote that book, so I wasn't sure if she was making.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh. That's why I said, oh man, these are not some of the greatest books lately.
Yeah, I agree. So just I don't know. Maybe next issue we'll know more
I'm
about
not.
it, but it just this Deadpool book isn't
Yeah. Well,
really flowing.
yeah, but we're not reviewing that until November.
Is it still bi-monthly?
Mm-hmm. It's bi-month. I'm gonna say it's bi-monthly for the rest of the year. Oh, which I was gonna run by you. So I was thinking for December, we'll just out for that episode since there's no Deadpool book. We should just cover Civil War as a whole, just
Wow.
there.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, just get it. Just rip that Band-Aid off since literally, as we're going to segue into the next books, we're literally there
So
now in
so
Cable and Deadpool in Pastel Vision. Sorry, what were
so
you
are we
saying?
going to be putting Cable and Deadpool in its place during Civil War? Like chronologically, or
Uh, well, that's up to
okay?
you. If you want to somehow, well, shit, that's a lot of books. But yeah, if you want to somehow do
It's
that,
only
we
what,
can do
7
that.
issues, I think, even though they're a bit extra sized too.
Well, no, Civil War is, I think, yeah, probably 7 issues, and then how many is Cable and
I
Deadpool?
want to I
Like
want to see
three. So that's like
three,
10
maybe.
issues. We'll look it up and see. Yeah, but we'll do that. In which case, I guess for November we'll just do 4 episodes of Evangelion.
Oh, you really want to fly through it, huh?
Well, we might as well. I mean, we're only gonna have one book in November. It'll just be Deadpool 7,
Well, we
hopefully.
need to figure out when when this last movie's coming out, because there's what, 26 episodes, then the two specials, three specials, death,
You said there's
rebirth, and end.
right now.
I don't
Yeah, and you said we don't have to watch one of them because it's literally
recap,
just a
right?
recap.
Some extra scenes. So it's 28 and 3, 31. Okay. So we're looking at a total like 32 things to cover, even though I guess the movies are a bit longer than the regular episodes, so we can probably spread it out. But we probably just need to make sure we pace ourselves so we don't get to the end before the last movie comes out.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, we can just cover that movie when it
Okay.
comes. I mean, look, it's Corona. Anything can happen now. I mean, for fuck's sake, they're already saying Black Widow's being delayed again. Which I don't know, it doesn't make sense because Mulan is doing really well for that $30 price on Disney Plus.
Is it really on Disney Plus? But I
Yeah.
mean, movie-wise, it's not
Well,
really
no,
a success.
I'm talking about money wise. No, it's doing. A lot of people have been buying the $30 to watch it.
Hmm.
I think people are just desperate to just watch something new.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, I'm gonna wait till it comes out in December.
That's it. It's not even more than 3, 4 months away. Yeah,
What,
on Disney
Mulan?
Plus, regular Disney Plus.
If you don't want to pay the $30, you can wait till it's like I think around Christmas is when they're just gonna them just release it to the general public
Oh
for free
wow.
on the
And
service.
that'll make it what,
Yeah.
3 months?
Yep.
They could have waited longer than that. They could have given it a good 6 months, but whatever.
Well, you have to remember they also release it in China, so they're making their money. They
I
could
heard it
give
was
a
bombing in
shit.
China though, or I skimmed an article. It was
Yeah.
bombing in China.
Well, I haven't actually looked to see what it is, but I just know the $30 has done really well, and whatever money it did make in China, it made money.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if Black Widow comes out on Disney Plus, I'll pay the $30. If it comes out in theaters in November, that'll be the first time I'll be in the theater since so Onward.
I want to see Tenant still, but just haven't had the time.
I heard it was not
Oh, I didn't
good.
want to hear that.
You know what? Like I was like, okay, what's the actual plot? Like I just read a longer synopsis, not like beat
Hmm.
by beat, just more than the 3 sentences they had put out, and I'm like, oh, it's just he copied off of Steins Gate. That's cool.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen that either, so
All right, yep. So it's your turn. So you want to take us into our first
let's do
book?
it. Deadpool and Cable, issue 28, written by Fabian Nicieza with art by, is it Riley Brown?
Riley. Yeah, I have the credits. You want me to
Yep,
just
go
read
ahead,
it real quick?
because I'm not gonna.
Uh, Pencils by Riley Brown, ink by Jeremy Freeman, Gotham colorist, VC's Corey Petit letterers, Jacob Chabot production, Nicole Booth editor, Barbara and Machio consulting editors, uh, Joe Quesada, editor-in-chief. Dan Buckley, publisher. Cable, created by Rob Liefeld and Simonson. Deadpool, created by Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza.
So we get a recap page called Nightcap with Wade Wilson as he's the talk show host and Domino appears and he's talking about uh, Rumekistan, I guess is how you pronounce it, a made-up Central European country, and Domino's just kind of confused what she's doing here, which I thought was really funny. But then we cut to the capital of Rumekistan, and Deadpool's beating up a bunch of the what is this group called again? Ultimatums. They wear white and black,
Yeah.
and they follow Flag Smasher, who's the kind of the dictator leader of the country. So Domino has been paid to basically figure out what's going on if the rebels that Deadpool's working for would be the better rulers of the country than the Flag Smasher dictator. And she basically has a lot of back and forth morally with what's going on and what to do. But she's following Deadpool, who's working for the Resistance. The person that hired her is actually an old Merc friend who's a general or a high-ranking officer in the Ultimatum. And as she says in her monologue that, you know, he would have been a good Merc if he didn't have so much heart and kept believing in the causes he hired himself out to. So they give you an idea that this dude is kind of really good, and the dude he's working for isn't Flag Smasher, isn't. So we cut back to Deadpool, who's um, the Resistance, hired by the Resistance leader, who was like some kind of teacher and some other stuff, political prisoner, ended up becoming a political prisoner who escaped. And that dude's tech guy is Weasel. So Deadpool's kind of happy to see that Weasel's there, and Weasel kind of apologizes for the stuff that went down a couple issues back, where he was stealing tech, and even when Deadpool kind of stuck up for him, said Weasel didn't do it. Weasel, knew he did. So he said he did his time, and now in order to get out of life sentence, I guess he's doing kind of odd jobs for the government or something like that. Um, of course, Deadpool was kind of surprised. He's like, "Oh, well, you did, you're trying to do this good thing." He's like, "Yeah, well, I TiVoed every episode of Battlestar Galactica for you while you've been out." And Weasel gets a pretty big smile on his face. So meanwhile, in Providence, Irene and Black Box and is it James J or what's his name? The the protector dude with the amulet, John, Priester John. They're all kind of looking into the activities of what's going on in this country, and Irene is a little bit worried. And there's little hints that the Government Registration Act is going down, or the Superhuman Registration Act, and Irene is kind of dealing with some of the whispers with that. So Domino confronts Deadpool, since he's with the Resistance right now. She's going to try to take them down. The two of them kind of have a hand-to-hand battle until the general public end up getting mixed up in the battle, and they actually defend Deadpool, which makes Domino stop fighting as the Ultimated troops come to back her up. Flag Smasher is giving his weekly speech, which we find out that people are being forced to attend and forced to cheer for him. So Deadpool is there and Domino is there trying to be like be the counter assassin to Deadpool to stop him. When suddenly, after all her inner monologue, she decides to go ahead and kill Flag Smasher. She shoots him through the head. And then in comes the person who hired Deadpool. Um, Someone who Domino just kind of figured out was behind all of it as Cable flies in and it is announced that he's the new leader of Rumekistan.
No, I like this. I know when I read it way back then, I was like, what the fuck is all this? But now knowing more about the Marvel Universe, and I mean, the art is just amazing too.
Very simpler art, but yes, I like it too.
This is actually Riley Brown's first issue he drew of Cable and Deadpool.
The colors are a bit muted at times and kind of a little bit odd in some of their shading at times. I don't know if it's the inker or the colors, but there's some oddities with it, but it still doesn't hurt it at all. It's still very solid, just different.
And while you were, going over, I was looking up. Yeah, I thought Riley Brown, like from here on out, like kind of, did all the art for all the books. Nah, there's some other people in between, but for the most part, he's kind of like the go-to guy for this book.
Yeah, it's solid. I enjoy it.
Uh, there was something I think. Sorry, I'm just going through this real quick. No, that's it. Yeah, really like the art. Yeah, like I said, going back, I like this now, disliked it. So what would you give this, a like
I'll
or
give this a
dislike?
like. Definitely give this a like. I like the fact that Domino is really torn on what to do and what side she should fall on this. They really play that up very well. It was well written.
I feel like, doesn't she's like this throughout the rest of the series too, isn't she?
It's been too long.
Ah, okay. Anyway, so ad time. We have a ad for Over the Hedge, the game, available on Xbox, Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and PC. Remember that movie,
Of course, my
Corwin?
kids used to watch that movie a lot.
God, it was such a bad movie.
No, it wasn't.
It
One
was
with
not
Bruce Willis,
good.
right? And they try to steal the food.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, Gary Shandling, Steve
It's a
Carell.
kids movie.
I think Avril Lavigne plays a possum
Yeah, I
in
think
it.
so. It wasn't bad. It was all right. I wouldn't watch it without the kids. I mean, it's kind of a movie for them more than me.
We have a maze. Can you help Cinnamon get to the bowl of Apple Jacks?
Do they still make that cereal?
Apple Jacks? Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, Apple Jacks is awesome.
I'm old. I only eat like Cheerios and Special K now.
We have X-Men Prepare for Battle, the Hero Clicks Danger Room Edition. It's the X-Men wearing their X Factor outfit. When Cyclops had the blue and white. What other ads? Oh, Corwin, you can get a Spider-Man birthday cake. There's an ad for that. There's an ad for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game.
Well, it's a must-have since I never played it.
An ad for, is this the end of the MC2 universe? That was going on for June 2006. There's an ad for X-Men Fairy Tales by Akira Yoshida. I mean CB Cebulski and Sana Takeda.
Yes.
An ad for Zippers. An ad for Marvel Candy. What else? An ad for Marvel Hanes boxers. Ooh, here we go. An ad for the official X-Men game for X-Men 3. Available for PC, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, Xbox 360, Xbox, PlayStation 2. And on the back, there's also an ad for Rampage, available on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. Oh my god, these graphics look terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, even for PlayStation 2, these graphics look terrible for Rampage. Next book, we have Cable and Deadpool issue 29.
Look who did the cover. Early Mark Brooks.
Well, I was probably going to get to that because they don't have the cover artist. That's weird. Credited, but writer Fabian Nicieza, pencil Ron Lim, Inks, Pat Davidson. Colors, Gotham. Letterers, VC, Corey Petit. Editor, Nicole Booth. Consulting editors, Barber and Machio. Editor-in-Chief, Joe Quesada. Publisher, Dan Buckley. Cable, created by Rob Liefeld and Louise Simonson. Deadpool, created by Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza. So, issue starts off, which Ultimatum is kind of having a Mexican standoff with Cable. They decide to drop their guns. The crowd is happy because they have a new president who isn't a dictator. Domino is still a little hesitant because she's not sure she made the right choice. Deadpool says to Cable that he didn't shoot him in the head. He was just going to graze him. Cable keeps on saying, I know, it wasn't you. It was Domino. So we have Cable just going over the schematics of what's going on, rooms to scan, and what you're going to do. Cable then tells Deadpool that he might want to kind of tail the professor because the professor actually did die when he was held in the prison. So it is probably an imposter. So Deadpool tails the historian professor, and then he finds out that he no longer has a European accent, but a English accent, as Deadpool says. And who does it happen to be but Citizen V
for Vendetta.
So Deadpool and Citizen V start fighting. Meanwhile, on Providence, Irene and Black Box are what are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about Citizen V.
His history.
Cable and Domino are talking, and Cable's like, "Did I make the right choice, Domino? Is this the right choice?" And Cable gets mad because Domino's just standing there, just not answering, and Cable's like, "You know what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get mad, but you're right. You know, you have all the right to be worried about me right now." Back to Deadpool and V. I'm just going to call him V. Deadpool and V are just fighting. V's even like, what the hell? I want Cable to be in power. That's the whole entire purpose why I'm here. We can stop fighting. And Deadpool's like, okay. And then he just punches V in the face. V falls down and Deadpool's like, ha, gotcha. I won. Deadpool throws V at Domino, says, here's this guy. He's a fake. Domino's just watching Cable's speech. She lets V go because, V's was there for one reason only. He flies off. They say Cable's number one protector just goes, hey, Domino's safe. And it's like, yeah, Domino won't shoot me. And Domino shoots Cable, but Cable's force field prevents it. Deadpool comes in and he's like, I heard gunshots, and Die Hard style. Another Mexican standoff. Domino uses her good luck power. She ables to pull the gun in the back of Cable's head, and Domino just walks off because she can't trust Cable right now. Deadpool and Lackey, they decide to give Cable a moment as Cable's a little bit upset because Domino won't be by his side, and that's how the issue ends.
He doesn't trust him.
I like this.
Yeah, what's good?
Again, back then I wasn't crazy about it. Now, yeah, this was good.
I have to.
So, Citizen V, was he part of the Thunderbolts or no?
Yes, Baron Zemo's version of Citizen V, yes, was a Thunderbolt, leader of the Thunderbolts.
Oh, but not this
guy. No, this seems to be somebody else because the Citizen V goes back to World War II, I believe.
Yeah, and also, did Fabian create the Thunderbolts?
I believe he did.
Huh. You have anything else to add, about this issue?
Flip through it a little bit. I enjoyed it. Ronald M. Arp is good. I do like the fact that Domino made the point that she could take out Cable if she really wanted to. And once again, her just being torn with everything is just a really good viewpoint of the issue. to the point where when she didn't answer him before, she's like, if anything I say, I either betray him or I betray myself. So she doesn't say anything. I thought that was a good way of handling that situation. And then at the end, she's afraid he's gonna fail, but she's even more terrified if he succeeds, which really got me to thinking. I really wish Marvel would at least stuck with this and let this nation be this perfect utopia, even if Cable gives up leadership or something, but just make it an ongoing thing in a Marvel universe. I thought would have been pretty awesome.
Uh, oh yeah, there's also a great line. I forget where it is in here, but Domino's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's like the president is, talking in a neon suit.
I remember that line.
I was just thinking, oh yeah, it's funny. 14 years later, that's our president.
In a neon suit?
You fucking might as well. It's fucking Biff.
Uh, it was funny when Deadpool kept saying he didn't shoot him. He didn't shoot the president.
Seriously, I didn't shoot him. Uh, yeah, I don't know. The art wasn't as good this time around, but also, did you think the colors
That's
were a little
exactly
bit
what
off
I was gonna
too?
say. I think the art was good, but I think the colors is what really weren't holding it all together.
All right. So ad time again. X-Men the game or X3 the game. Here's what's going on during this time in the Marvel Universe. Some of the books. We have Franklin Richards, son of a genius, super summer spectacular. Ghost Rider issue 1. I believe that was Daniel Way writing it, maybe.
Oh, I don't remember. I'd have to see.
Civil War X-Men number
Ugh,
1. Civil War Young Avengers and
that
Runaways
was
number
pretty
1.
good. That was early Stefano Caselli.
Jack Kirby's Galactic Bounty Hunters number 1. Civil War 3. Civil War Frontline 3 and 4. Runaways 18. Daredevil 87 and Spider-Girl 100. We also have X-Men The Ultimate Guide. I remember having one of those books. It's like the fat ass
I
encyclopedia.
think I have the second one still somewhere.
We have a giant ad for Superman Returns, the video game. Now available on PlayStation 2, Xbox, Xbox 360, Nintendo DS, and Game Boy Advance. We have Cars, Disney's Pixar Cars, the video game, available on Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube, PC, Mac, Nintendo DS, and Game Boy Advance. Oh, Corwin, here we go. Let's see if you were a fan of this. We have an ad for the season 8 out now of Stargate SG-1 on DVD.
No, never really got into Stargate.
Get an exclusive sneak peek at season 10 available only at Best Buy. Really? You weren't a fan of
Nah,
Stargate?
not really. Only the movies. I watched the movie. Didn't really watch the series.
I kind of I think maybe around this time I was watching Stargate, but that was only because Friday nights was like, I think Stargate, Stargate Atlantis, and then Battlestar Galactica. Let's see what else. Yu-Gi-Oh! We already talked about that. WrestleMania toys, Midtown Comics, X-Men Dark Tide DVD box set, which just contains those mini mates figures. Verb, an ad for the Verb, go do stuff, and a bubble tape ad.
Tape. All right, so next up we are going to cover our episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Listener discretion is advised. Neon Genesis Evangelion depicts psychological themes, religion, sex, suicide, and other adult themes. If you are sensitive to any of these topics, please stop listening now. We will review each episode as is, following what is happening in each episode. So I am. Mhm.
Okay, before we start, I have to tell you about this epic story that just happened. So our listeners might not know. So I went to the bathroom, but then there was a spider. So I had to catch the spider. Then I'm like, oh, I have to take the spider out. But then the alarm was set. So then I had to get another cup to put on top of the other cup so the spider wouldn't get out. Then I had to walk all the way downstairs to unset the alarm and open up the door to let the spider out.
Oh, okay. And okay, well,
That was an epic
I,
event.
I guess it's better than killing the spider. Yes.
Well, okay, let me rephrase it. The no average household spider, they're good
Yeah, to eat insects.
spiders. Yeah. Now, if we're talking about like, Australian spiders, no, fuck that shit. Yeah, the ones that just rain fire and they're like the size of your hand. No, fuck them.
Understood.
Anyway,
All right.
continue.
So, episode 11 opens with Tsuko and some other of the Nerve staff in a laundromat washing their clothes, and on their way back on the train, they run into Fuyutsuki, who informs them that basically the council has had a session, the um, city assembly elections where they, vote people into different offices. Is basically a sham. They talk about the Magi system, which is a three supercomputer systems who kind of decide the what's best for people. They decide a majority vote, and the city council meets to approve the decisions. So most of the governmental and stuff decisions seems to be decided by computers with people actually backing it up and confirming it is probably the best choice. Um, and they kind of say all city management is run this way, which was okay, kind of interesting. Then we start with a Unit Zero test, where Suko is doing a test for Unit Zero, while Masato is once again stuck in the elevator with Kaji, and of course, he tells him no funny business. Shinji calls his dad to try to ask him about Parents' Day at school. He's really kind of shy and doesn't know how to ask his father, and of course, his father dismisses him, saying that he put Captain Katsuragi in charge for these things, so don't waste his time with these trivial things. Um, and then at that moment in time, the power goes out everywhere. In Nerve headquarters, they realize the backups are not working either, which is really weird. Um, Fitsutsuki tells the staff to reroute all power to the Magi system and the central dogma, even though it is going to cost life support at certain areas. So I thought that was kind of a hint at something important. So Shinji, Asuka, and Rei are all kind of walking home from school, and then they realize that something's not right everywhere is without power, so they decide they need to get back to headquarters. Meanwhile, Akari kind of figures out that something's going on, that like even the two backups that they have for power are still not cutting on, so they realize that there's some kind of subterfuge going on that um, this is humans behind this. So while all this is happening, the ninth angel attacks. It's huge. It's like a insect, a four-legged insect. Speaking of spiders, and they just kind of show the legs, and you don't get to kind of see the body of it. But then the kids head underground into the base. They try to, get back to headquarters. Um, and as Ikari realizes that the blackout is intentional, he makes this great quote about man's greatest enemy is man, not the angels. So Ikari go ahead and tells the staff to get all the Avas ready. They're gonna have to do it manually, and he actually chips in. You see him, pulling chains, helping getting the entry plugs pulled out of the units and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the kids are lost going through air shafts throughout the base, and Asuka's trying to lead them. And of course, she always gets the directions wrong. At one point, she says, "Let's go this way," and Ray's like, "No, it's this way." And she asks Shinji, and Shinji just kind of bitches out and is like, "I don't know." Um, and eventually, Asuka leads them back to the surface instead. And as they open the door to the surface, the angel walks by, and we see that the body of the angel is like it's like a daddy long legs almost, but then the body is just kind of sphere, and it's covered in all kind of eyes. So that kind of freaks them out. They all head back down into base. Um, just as Ikari and the rest of the staff gets the Avas ready, the kids end up falling through the air duct and falling right into where everybody else is, which was kind of an awesome thing because the whole time that they're getting these things prepped, I think Ritsuko is kind of like, well, what about the kids? We haven't heard from them. How do we know they're going to make it? And Akari's like, they'll make it. So that vote of confidence I thought was pretty cool. So the kids get into the Evangelion units and they start heading towards the surface. They actually have to climb since there's no power to lift them up. As they're climbing, this big goo just starts falling down into the shaft, and we realize that it's a big, huge, like the angels dropping acid down into the base. It kind of messes up their battery pack, so then the Avas are stuck in a hallway with about 3 minutes of power left, and they have to figure out what to do. So Asuka comes up with a plan. Um, when the acid hit, then they not only lost their battery pack, but they dropped their guns too. So Asuka has this plan where she's gonna run defense. She's gonna go out into the shaft and block the acid. Ray is going to jump down to the bottom of the shaft to get the weapon. She's gonna throw it up to Shinji, who's going to be in the shaft behind Asuka, and he's going to basically shoot the angel. So they put this whole attack into motion and it succeeds. Ray throws the gun up to Shinji. Asuka jumps out of the way, and Shinji just lets a whole barrage of bullets up through the shaft, and they kill the angel. This is the ninth angel. I couldn't find much information on it. His name is Martriel, and he's the angel of embryos. Come on, Scott. You can't tell me you didn't enjoy this episode.
Notes. Not a single person has a shadow on this subway train. Shinji can't make phony calls.
Phony calls. You can't prank people, is what you're saying? It's his dad. He's just a little bitch at times, but anyway. Hmm.
Yeah, Corwin is my friend there. First name Ivana, last name Tinkle. Ivana Tinkle. Has anybody seen Ivana Tinkle? Come on, guys, Ivana Tinkle.
Okay, Mo.
Listen here, you son of a bitch. No lights at the subway, yet they all act surprised there is no power when they're trying to use their subway cards.
Oh yeah.
Like, none of the lights are on. And they're like, I don't understand. Are shadows hard to add? Shinji has abs, jerks off for sure, be a simp, yet can't crank a crank.
What? Where did that come from?
You heard me. Oh, then I have one of the title cards said, "The day Tokyo 3 stood still."
Yeah, I hate the fact they don't friggin' put the damn subtitles for those things.
Delivering laundry is an emergency because the guy got on the emergency thing, but he was carrying the laundry.
Oh no, he was trying to tell them the angel was attacking.
Yeah, delivering laundry is an emergency, maybe for a simp. No light in the tunnel, yet they can see and have light when the kids are in the tunnel. It's supposed to be dark, yet.
No,
Also, you're telling me none of these Evas here have jetpack feet?
Have what? Jetpack feet?
Yeah, they're climbing the tunnel, and I'm like, really? None of them can blast off?
It was on their backs. I know that when Ray dropped down, she used some boosters to help cushion her fall. but I guess it's not enough to power them to get them up to the surface and not run out of power. So,
Yeah, this one was okay.
oh, you didn't like the teamwork? You didn't like the interactions between the kids?
No.
Yeah, you're heartless.
All right. Next episode, we have episode 2, A Miracle's Worth. 15 years ago in 2000, we have a man carrying a body and a sandstorm. An angel breaks through the storm. We then find out that the body is Masato. So he puts this young Masato in this, I don't know, which is called a pod. The father dies, but yeah, Masato makes it through. Present day, Masato was promoted to a major. There's a weather storm going on. Meanwhile, Masato tells Shinji and what's the chick's name? How do you pronounce it?
Oscar?
Asuka. I don't know why I was going to say Usuka. Asuka, that hey, make sure you head to Nerve because you guys have harmonic testing. During the harmonic testing, it's revealed that Shinji basically has perfect levels, yet Masato says, yeah, but he has perfect levels, but he just doesn't want to be a pilot. Later that night, they hold a pizza party for Masato's promotion. We focus on Shinji's face for 2 minutes as everyone talks for no reason. Shinji says he doesn't do well in crowds, despite including him, it's 6 people and a penguin at this crowd. An angel is then detected in orbit over the Indian Ocean. Meanwhile, father and his butt buddy are at the
His
South
right-hand
Pole
man.
on a on a science power mission. They're transporting an angel dick.
It's not an. What makes you think that? What makes you think that?
It's a very long tube that you're carrying on
Let's
that
call
ship.
it a weapon.
Angel
It's a
dick. Gotcha.
weapon. Mm-hmm.
I have here. She said, "Don't make others suffer for your personal hatred." I don't know who that's supposed to be directed towards. Uh, the plan is for the 8. Jesus, I wrote the shittiest notes. Basically, the plan is for the Avas to catch the catch Starro as it falls from outer space. Yeah, that's why I'm calling that angel. It looks like Starro. We find out that the only reason why Masato joined Nerve was to take down the angels. And then I have here in my notes, Angel is Starro. As Starro is falling, we see, that the Avas are in perfect sync as they're jumping around and everything. So we're seeing some really cool, robot kaiju, so to speak, action as they're jumping over the power lines and crap. Shinji then catches Starro. Asuka stabs it in the eye, and because of that, a big crater is a result of that. But because, but they killed it in the process. Father then calls in to congratulate Shinji. Shinji comes in his pants. The gang then gets ramen. Shinji then says he pilots so he can get praised by his father.
Ass. So, okay, first thing, this angel's in orbit. It's in space, and it keeps dropping bombs down. Um, and eventually, we do learn that it is going to be one giant bomb when it tries to drop itself to the Earth. Shinji catches it. Ray
Yeah.
uses her anti-AT field to open up its shield, and then Asuka's able to kill it. So it did take the 3 of them to defeat it.
Yeah, which was cool. I just wish it was a little bit longer, but that whole sequence was cool.
Agreed. Agreed. I like the fact that the kids are really starting to gel now and work together, and they have their dynamics. They may not be all best of friends because they all have their personalities. Asuka's the boastful kind of blusterous ones, and Shinji's a little bitch, and Ray's just quiet.
Oh, Oh yeah, we should talk about that. Ray had a shitload of lines in episode
Oh, did
11.
she? How many lines did she have?
A lot.
I thought you counted or something.
Oh no, it's not like the one time where she only had 2 lines in like 5 episodes.
You'll see that you're gonna get more and more out of her. But um, so what are your thoughts on the series so far? We are almost halfway. It's 26 episodes for this actual series itself. Um, Halfway point. We've got all the characters. How are you feeling about the show so far? Not liking it, huh?
No,
Wow.
I, I guess maybe I'm spoiled because I watched whatchamacallit, Darling in the Franxx first, and then watched this. It's just like I just wish there was just more action.
I could see that.
As I said in my notes, we get a scene which is just 2 minutes of it just focusing on fucking Shinji's face as everyone else is talking. And why the hell are there no shadows in this goddamn anime?
I don't know.
Is everybody
The
dead?
budget. They didn't have enough money in the budget.
Yeah, to make a goddamn shadow. All right. So you
For
want
that,
to? Oh, sorry.
this is the 10th angel, Saquiel, the angel of the sky, and is one of the great 7 archangels.
Starro. All right. You want to get into our
Sure,
Merc
let's get
File?
into our Merc file that I have no clue about any of it.
Ah, yeah. Congratulations. You never read
No,
the
I know there's a Merc
emails.
file, but I don't know.
And
I can't tell you any information on this fictional place.
oh, okay. Yep. So we have
Is that how you pronounce it?
Rumekistan. No, that's how
I
I am
intentionally
saying
tried to
it.
pronounce it different every time I said it in my review, but I think I messed that up.
Rumekistan, officially the Republic of Rumekistan, is a Central European country succeeded by the Soviet Union. The capital is Barnova. Yeah, let's go with that. It made its first appearance in Citizen V and the V Battalion, the Everlasting issue 1 in March 2002. I don't know why. I thought this thing was like, a Jack Kirby, Stan Lee type thing. And it is actually it's near the Black Sea, and it's like basically to the southeast of Ukraine. I mean, yeah, if you want to say where it would technically be on a map.
Okay.
Then we just go into basically its whole entire Wikipedia page. It's everything from the issue we just read.
I was going to ask if there's been any updates since this storyline. Have we seen anything since? Heard anything about it since?
The new government was led by President Yukisvest, who cleaves strongly by Cable's ideas, sponsoring international efforts to secure abandoned weapon caches, military bases, and signs life before they could be claimed by terrorists and try to repurpose them. Now, pretty much we never really ever heard or saw this country ever again.
What was the last issues that was in? Like, did it tell you what?
Marvel Atlas, Citizen V, and then Cable and Deadpool 28, 29, 33, 34, 43, and 49.
Awesome.
And it was created by Fabian Nicieza.
Yeah, I knew that part.
You know what galaxy it's in? The Milky Way. It's also in the star system Sol, on the planet Earth, and the continent Europe.
I think I've heard of that place.
Yeah, I really thought there would be more to it. I really thought this thing has been around since like the 70s, but no. And that's it for that. So you want to talk about ReZero?
I'm one episode behind, as I always seem to be when we talk about these things. but sure.
Holy shit. So I think we're up to 6 or 7 deaths now.
Yeah, he got it, but I think I really enjoyed Echidna, if that's how you pronounce her name.
Is it?
The
I'll take
witch
your
of
word for it.
which witch is she? Which witch is she? The Greed.
Greed, I
Yeah.
think.
No. She wasn't Greed. Greed is the one who he talked to. Greed is the one that created the rabbits and the whale and
No,
Gluttony.
that's
Sorry, you're right. That's
Gluttony.
Gluttony. Yeah, but I'm liking her. She seems pretty cool. And the other ones we met actually seem some of them seem pretty nice, not evil or anything like.
Yeah, so we saw the Witch of Gluttony, the Witch of Wrath, and who was the one that shattered him?
I don't know. She was the mean one though. That was
That wasn't Wrath, though. I forget who that
no,
was.
I don't know then.
I forget. But, Jesus. Oh, so you want to know a difference from the book to the
Sure.
anime? So this is really fucked up, and I guess it would just be hard to kind of adapt. But so when the rabbits eat you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like when they rip off his hand, you saw that perfectly. The pain, there's a delay in the pain.
Right.
So that's why Subaru didn't notice when he got his hand ripped off. And then he started freaking out because once that happens, then it's like 200% more pain you feel than a normal. So, yeah, you can only imagine what it's like getting your hand ripped off. Well, times that by 2. But here's the thing, though. This is the part where it comes in, which is hard to adapt. In the book, the pain is so bad. Basically, so once Subaru dies and he wakes up,
Still feels
he's still like the pain is still ricocheting through time, so he's still feeling it for like, like what you say, like for 5 minutes. So that's why he then started slamming his head into the ground. Well, one, because he wanted to see the witch again, but also because he was just still feeling that
and then
fucking
he got
pain.
eaten alive. I mean, shit.
Yeah. Have you well, you didn't watch the latest episode, but have you noticed things going on with Subaru's eye?
I don't think I have.
You know how you mentioned what's his face? Has 2 different eye colors?
Oh yeah, Roswell.
Yeah, Roswell has 2
Mm-hmm.
different eye colors. And it seems like Subaru keeps on missing his eye every single time he dies. He keeps getting eye damage. Yes, it's also revealed. Oh, wait, no, I don't think you saw it, so you wouldn't know. Well, I already spoiled it for you a while back. So Beatrice acknowledges that she knows.
I knew that part. And then she has her own Bible, which is, I guess they say the ones that the villains use as an incomplete version or something like that.
Right.
And hers is a complete version, so she has to do what it says in the book or something. So yeah, that's interesting. And Roswell, I'm back and forth with what to believe with him because sometimes it seems like he's good no matter what, and sometimes it just you can't tell.
Well, I mean, I know what's going on with Roswell, so I can't say anything.
Don't.
I don't want because I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it for your listeners. So I'm just gonna go. Okay.
So, but yeah, the back and forth with him is cool, and how I forgot who has to listen to Subaru. He has power over who? Um, the clone chick.
Well, because he has a piece of Echidna in him.
He drank
Because
the
remember,
tea,
he drank
which was what was
her hair and other bodily
okay.
fluid.
Yeah, my son and I going back and forth with what we thought he ingested there, but
You know what that bit
Mhm.
remind me of? That episode of Family Guy where Meg has a crush on Brian. It's like, I put a piece of my hair in the pie. It just made me think of that scene. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're paying any attention. So the clone is 400 years
Yep.
old. Puck is 400 years old. Beatrice is 400 years old. What is Puck, Corwin?
He's the third gluttony beast. No.
No. Remember, Puck is one of the four man beasts of the apocalypse. And remember, you asked me, "Oh, have we seen any of the other ones?" Yes. And what did I just say? Who else has been around for 400 years,
Beatrice.
Corwin? Yep, Beatrice is one of the other people. Yeah. And we also find out that Beatrice has shadow powers, like, what's his face? Subaru.
Oh, his element is dark. Her element is dark.
Shadow. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, which makes sense because she was created by Echidna.
So Roswell and Echidna must have something going on. That's his mom.
Okay. So this is just a theory. This isn't anything. Do you think Roswell is Frederica's father?
Oh, I have no clue on that one.
The only reason why, this is just a theory. This isn't anything I read or anything. This is just me saying it. Because, what's his face? Garfield hates Roswell. Frederica is quarter.
Well, not demon.
And her father is human. And I'm just thinking, why else? Well, I know one reason why Garfield would hate Roswell, but I can't tell you. But I'm just thinking maybe because also Roswell banged his mom.
It's a possibility.
What else was there? Oh, Otto. Our boy Otto
came to the rescue.
Yeah, can we just say Otto is the man?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Because I love you, man. We're having a bromance. Oh, let's also talk about I love you.
Yeah,
I love you.
that
I
was
love you.
freaky.
I love you. 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 And what did Roswell admit at that moment?
I don't remember what.
Oh, he admits that he knows.
Oh, that Subaru comes back.
Yeah, he's like, well, I guess this is my time, and Subaru, I guess you're just gonna have to come back again and fix it like you always do. Yeah, I will say that in the episode that you haven't watched, yeah, Roswell, he admits it. He's like, well, you're gonna do what you always do. You're gonna die and you're gonna come back.
So when we saw the witch here now, are we to
which one? You have to clarify.
The main villain, Satella.
Satella.
Are we to believe that she possibly possessed what's her name? Amelia, that she possessed Amelia's body, which is why Amelia was in the middle of the mist like that, or Gianni and I were going back and forth on that one and how.
Well, you haven't watched
so
the
it'll
new
explain
episode.
It there. Okay, so I won't say nothing.
No, it's not explained, but something happens.
Got you.
But no, remember, Subaru is not Subaru. Amelia has silver hair and she's half human, half elf. Satella had silver hair and was half human, half elf. No, that was Subaru literally saw what Satella looked like. And it's because if you put Amelia and then you put that what you saw Satella, they actually look different.
I thought it was the same.
There's a slight difference of like their face, like of their face, but they do look alike.
Okay.
So, which death do you think has been the best? I think the rabbit.
I think the rabbit has to take the cake.
then Subaru killed himself because he had to take. He turned the handkerchief
That
into a
was
knife
cool when he was trapped in the other dimension. Yeah.
because that's why Echidna wanted it, because she knew it's like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to use
Yeah.
this.
That was a good touch. I'll give them that one.
Yep. Oh, but dude, just how that episode did. Because you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. There's like this dark mist, and then you just fucking see her,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh fuck. And then Roswell reveals, oh yeah, I know your secret. And then you see he has a witch's Bible, and you're like, oh fuck.
And I'm trying to figure out like what made her come that time out of all the other times and everything else is going on. What made her finally decide to come after him then?
Oh no, it was explained.
It was? I don't remember then.
Oh no, it was explained because of what's his face. Um, because he went off to see Echidna. Because Echidna said, you know, you've been before Echidna sent him back, and then Satilla showed up. It's because she was saying, "Oh, you've been gone. You're gone way too long. She's going to notice," and that's why she showed up, because he was gone, and Satilla knew he was off seeing another witch.
Got you.
And then Subaru even said that he's now pledging to Echidna. Let alone he's an apostle. Anyway.
Well, we're to believe he's supposed to be Pride, right? Or is that not supposed to come up yet?
He's not Pride.
No?
No, he's just being prideful, but no. He's just an apostle because he has a piece of Echidna in him, but he's also taking the pledge.
Okay, so it's the pledge that really does it. Gotcha. Well, you know, Beetlejuice kind of makes, you know, not illusionment. What's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, FYI, talking about Beetlejuice. Do not look up any of the light novel covers, because there's a huge spoiler that was spoiled for me.
No.
About that. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So do not look up any light novel covers.
I never look up anything for this show.
Because I'm like, that looks like, oh, fuck. What else had happened? Because we went through a lot of episodes, and I think there's only 1 or 2 episodes left this season.
No, don't tell me that.
But then it comes back in January.
Well, how many seasons do you think are left? Or like even, I guess the book is still going, right?
From what I'm seeing, it's catching up. They're really, really going through the books quickly.
No, but I mean, how many books are planned, or is there even an end in sight for the books?
No, there's no end in sight right now.
Okay, so we're gonna be doing this forever.
Yeah. Which, look, I'd rather them take hiatuses than give us bullshit filler.
I agree. It's just still having to wait.
Oh my god, I will say this. I was fucking cracking up last episode.
The one I haven't seen still.
Yeah, Subaru was fighting somebody, and then he wakes up, and I'm like, I bet you he's waking up in this scenario. And what did you guess, Corwin? It's that scenario. And I just started busting ass, like laughing. I'm like, yep, that figures. It's only Subaru's luck.
Okay.
But yeah, oh, dude. Oh yeah, and Roswell? Oh my god, he gets so much to do this season.
You mean in the next 2 episodes?
Well, the episode you haven't seen yet. Oh my god, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, for us, the episode that should be airing later today should be either the season finale or next week is the season finale. Till January, hopefully. Yeah, when is Attack on Titan coming?
No,
January?
I think it's October. isn't it?
Are you sure? Because I didn't see it on the list of upcoming anime
I
for
was
the
just
fall
about to
season.
ask you about what else is there going to be to watch because
Uh, I'm not sure if you care. Because no, and I don't mean this in like a sarcastic way. I just have no idea if you're a
hmm
fan of it. But the Inuyasha sequel series comes out next month
yeah, not really a fan of
uh,
inertia.
with their kids. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were a fan of the show or not.
No. There is a few things that I know about that I haven't watched yet, like the God of High School. Um, what's that other one called? Gintama, I've heard about as well. Gin Gintama or Gintama. And there is another one that I said I was gonna check on because it sounded good, and I can't remember what it is. But I feel like TV is definitely slowing down with regular TV shows now. I'm starting to scrounge for different things to watch.
So I'm reading an article on MSN
hmm
right now. It was supposed to set to air in October. First off, regardless, they were splitting the season in
Right.
halves again. Which, okay, whatever. I mean, one, makes sense for the studios. Two, you want to milk this thing as much as possible. I mean, for fuck's sake, they did with Breaking Bad. So it's going to be 12 episodes each season. It was supposed to air in October this year,
hmm
next month. But of course, COVID. And apparently, it was also going to not be on Toonami. It was going to be on Hulu.
Wow.
Hmm, that's weird. Anyway,
And now there's a
yeah,
TBD.
no, yeah, I high, I'm gonna say spring. I highly doubt they're gonna put it in January because as of right now, January, I know the big hitters are released. Whatchamacallit? ReZero, Quintessential
What the hell is
Quintuplets.
that?
Oh, it's a good. It's like a typical
Oh,
harem anime, but it's actually, but it's pretty good. I think My Hero's coming back in January.
that's all? I'd be surprised on that one. I know the next season is the last one too.
Of
hmm
My Hero. Uh oh shit. Yeah, no, they are definitely not going to air it. You have Dr. Stone comes
Okay, looking
back.
forward to that one.
Promise Neverland second season.
Don't think. Yeah, I didn't even
You
start.
there?
I never started that one.
You need okay. Again, you need to watch it, but just click it. Don't fucking read the description because the first just like School Live, the first episode has that fucking twist.
Okay.
But it's about kids in an orphanage. There. That's the plot. And then once you get past the first episode, you'll understand what the full plot of it
Gotcha.
is. And I know the manga just ended for that too.
What was the name of it again? Finding
For
Neverland? Promise
Promise
Neverland.
Promised
And
Neverland.
then
Yeah. Uh ReZero season 2, Quintessential Quintuplet season 2, uh season 2 of Tensei Shirada Slime Data. Oh, I was reincarnated as the slime. That's coming
is
back
that
in
good? I've known the
January.
name. I've seen it before, but is it good?
Yeah. Oh yes! Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Sorry. There's this manga I love, and it's finally being made into a
Called.
anime. It's called Horiyama. It's a comedy
Okay.
romance, but it's cool because the main character has like fucking tattoos and
hmm
piercings. But like when you look at him, you're like, oh, he looks like a normal kid. But then when he takes off his jacket, you just see all these fucking like tribal tattoos
It's
and
like a
shit.
yakuza.
But he's actually just a baker. Cells at Work
I love
season
that
2.
show.
I know I have it. I have it. Yeah, like I have it queued up. I just haven't watched it. I
Oh,
heard it's
my
great.
my youngest loves it too. It's just ridiculous and it's bloody as hell. Literally,
Literally.
yes. A lot of blood spilling.
Ooh, I mean, we're probably not going to get it for a while. Beastar season 2 is coming
I don't
back.
know. I just have no interest in that. Maybe I do need to check it out, but
That's the one that looks like
yeah, I know. I know
Zootopia.
which one it is. I just
Oh no, it's good. It's essentially a murder mystery at a high school with furries. And there's basically like the whole entire love. You know how like in like people kind of shipped the fox and the rabbit
hmm
in Zootopia? This is literally no. The wolf has a crush on the rabbit.
Okay.
Let's see what else we had. I'm just going through what we're quote unquote, but COVID. Uh, yeah, but no, right now it's definitely Attack on Titan is not coming back in January, so that looks like it's going to be a spring 2021 anime.
Okay.
Just from the sheer amount of like other animes I just mentioned, Cells at Work, ReZero, Promise Neverland. You said you love Doctor
Yeah,
Stone, right?
yes. You haven't that's right. You haven't watched it yet.
No, because when I saw the previews, it just looked like it. I don't know. It just didn't look in my
It's
interest.
a lot of science, but if you're a really science nerd too, I think you get a bit more out of it, which I am, and my son is too. So
Oh, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, One Piece. I am past episode 800. I think I'm on
oh
episode
Lord.
812.
hmm
No, I am literally just 100 episodes away from catching up.
Only.
No, Corwin, that's crazy. I'm just saying, when I started, it was like, oh, it's 600 episodes away. Now I'm only 100 episodes away, and it'll be caught up. That's
And it's good,
fucking
huh?
wow.
Yeah, it
What,
has to
One
be good for
Piece?
you to keep going that long.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, have your kids watched Jurassic Park Camp
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous?
I
Yeah,
I
what
don't
did you
think my
think of it?
oldest liked it at all. I don't know if my youngest has watched it yet.
That doesn't sound
Yeah.
good. Does he not like it because it's too kiddie, or?
I think I don't know if it's just the animation style as well as the story, but I'll get more info.
Oh.
I'll talk to him about it a little bit and find out.
Yeah, I can understand the animation. I was just curious if it was like too kid centric. Like, this sucks. Oh, what did you think of the YouTube?
What YouTube?
I sent him
Oh,
the YouTube
I emailed
thing.
you back on that one. He loved it.
Well, yeah, he
Yeah,
said
yeah, he
thank you.
loved it.
Oh, he
He
loved it.
definitely
Yeah,
loved it.
it was just one of those like YouTube suggestion things, and I just started watching that guy, and I was like, you know what? I think Corwin's kids might
Yeah,
like this.
he definitely loved it. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Let's wrap this baby up.
Okay.
Now, unless you have anything
I
else.
do not. I'm actually kind of hungry.
Oh, have you played
I
Avengers
have
yet?
not. I finally beat Last of Us 2, which is a fantastic game. Much longer than I anticipated. I could have sworn that game ended twice. They had two good chances of ending it, and they kept it going. Um, but no, I haven't played anything else. I've just been, you know, busy with the kids.
I think I'm almost done Final Fantasy
7 or 15? 7?
7. 7. Oh no, I beat 15 a while ago.
I want to run back through 7 again because there's only certain things you can do once you've beaten the game, and it gets harder. There's a new game plus mode where you can't replenish MP. Only like doing different chapters is the only time your MP's kind of reset. So going sleeping and stuff
Ugh.
does not restore your MP. So you really got to get your gear figured out on how to help drain MP from enemies and stuff like that.
Did you did you complete the squats thing or no?
I I think I did the squat. I think I did the first one, but then there's another one I think with pull-ups or something.
Yeah, no, I was about to say because I heard that's like a bitch to get the trophy in. I got the trophy for the
No, I
darts.
don't think I got that either.
You had to beat Wedge's score on darts. So I did that. You get a trophy, but then later Wedge goes, "Oh, you beat me," and he gives you like a shitload of potions for beating him in the leaderboard. Go vote, everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Because I have no idea when our next episode would air. But just in case, go vote for the love of God. Vote.
For the love of God, I like that.
For the love of God, please vote. I don't think we can do this for another 4 years. Other than that, let me pull up the file. You can listen to our podcast friends at Double Page Spread, Word Balloon, Why I Love Comics, Cats and Wax, and Sailor Business. You can follow me on Twitter at ZombieHighX23. You can follow Corwin on Twitter at EMPcast. You can always follow your Merc Report to us on Facebook under Merc with the Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at MercWA Podcast, or you can always email us at hipsterdockin@gmail.com. And Patch will send us your Hell House facts.
Yes, indeed.
Other with a new PSA. Why do dim stars appear brighter when we don't look directly at them, but off to the side? And next time you are out for an evening walk, take a look at a faint star. If you look directly at it, it may almost disappear. However, if you look at it off to one side, it will be much easier to see. The reason for this phenomenon lies in the anatomy of our eyes. We have two types of light-sensitive cells in the retina rods and cones. During daylight, we use the color-sensitive cone cells that function well in bright light. At night, our eyes switch to a colorblind rod cells, which are 10 times more sensitive to light. Since these light-sensitive rod cells are arranged around the outside of the retina, we can see faint objects such as stars more clearly by looking a little to one side rather than looking directly at them. Certain animal eyes, like cats, are far more light-sensitive than our human eyes. Cat eyes contain more rod cells and have highly reflected layers of cells behind the retina. It is a layer called tiptum that reflects the light and makes cat eyes appear to glow in the night when the light hits them. Also, cats are dicks. And now you know. Do, 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 do.